Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going on a truly fascinating journey into the hidden layers of our health. We're going to look past everything we thought we knew about why we get sick. Together, we'll unravel those complex signals our bodies are constantly trying to send us. Let's just jump right in. Okay, let's dive into this. Poor sleep, stubborn skin breakouts, unexplained joint pain, or maybe sudden weight gain? Listen, these are incredibly common, but man, they are deeply frustrating symptoms. And if you take just one of these to a traditional doctor, you'll probably walk out with a cream for your skin, a pill for your sleep, or, that classic tired advice to just eat less and move more. Conventional medicine almost always treats these things in pure isolation. But as we're finding out, this might be a massive mistake. Because peeling back the layers of these totally different physical symptoms actually leads us to a single, really surprising source. It's exactly like peeling an onion, right? We have to push past those surface-level annoyances to reach the absolute core of what's going on inside us. So, part 1, the cause of many complaints and unmasking the real root of chronic disease. This fundamental insight, it isn't actually new. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, knew this over 2,000 years ago, and traditional healing practices from all around the globe have based their methods on this for millennia. That very center of our body, our digestion, is quite literally the ultimate conductor of our overall health. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that modern science adds one crucial caveat that completely changes the game. All diseases begin in a leaky gut. It's not just about what's inside the gut itself, it's about its structural integrity. So, biologically, here's the breakdown of leaky gut syndrome. Normally, your intestinal cells are packed tightly together, kind of like a solid brick wall. But chronic stress or a poor diet causes those cells to actually separate. And when that happens, microscopic bacterial remnants literally leak out of your intestines and plunge directly into your bloodstream. Your immune system immediately panics. It flags these invaders, resulting in a state of chronic, low-grade systemic inflammation that just spreads throughout your entire body. And the impact of this biological panic is absolutely massive. Get this, 80 to 90% of your skin's health originates right in your gut. Think about eczema or psoriasis. You can go out and buy the most expensive topical creams on the market, but if the foundation of your digestion is inflamed because of a leaky gut, you're basically just putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. True healing absolutely has to start from the inside out. Which brings us to part 2, the gut and brain connection. Specifically, how your stomach actually controls your mood. Meet the vagus nerve. This is the biological superhighway handling nonstop communication between your intestinal tract and your brain. And this highway is absolutely crucial to understand because physical inflammation in your belly, it doesn't stay in your belly. It travels straight up this neural cable, right up into your head. It's a fascinating, cascading sequence. Step 1, your gut lining gets inflamed. Step 2, that inflammation shoots right up the vagus nerve. Step 3, once it hits the brain, it disrupts the glial cells, basically causing brain inflammation. And the final results, step 4, your natural production of feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin just plummets. This perfectly explains why someone might spend years in therapy struggling with depression with little result, all because the actual physical root cause was sitting down in their digestive tract the whole time. Let's move to and see how this builds into why emotions determine your health. This is really the deepest layer of the onion. Consider this for a second. What if your gut isn't just digesting food, but it's also trying to digest unprocessed emotions? We've all felt a pit in our stomach or butterflies when we're nervous, right? Well, that isn't just a cute saying. It's an actual energetic response. Long-term stress, unprocessed trauma, repressed anger, they create severe energetic blockages in your nervous system, and your gut reacts to them instantly. This mind-body link creates some incredibly frustrating physical cycles, like the stress weight gain cycle. Imagine someone under chronic stress who is desperately trying to lose weight, but the scale simply will not budge. Why? Because an unregulated nervous system is locked into a primal survival mode. The body literally believes it's under attack and refuses to let go of stored weight in order to stay safe. Cortisol and inflammation are running rampant, making fat loss biologically impossible. In a lot of cases, chronic stress is a much bigger factor in obesity than the actual food being eaten. Healing actually requires a state of deep relaxation. Okay, part 4, major misunderstandings about healthy food and breaking conventional dietary wisdom.
We've all heard that classic advice, right? Eat 6 small meals a day to keep your metabolism burning. Well, it turns out that every single time we eat, we trigger what's called a postprandial inflammatory response. Our immune system has to leap into action to process the incoming material. So if you're snacking 6 times a day, you are utterly exhausting your immune system. By sticking to 3 solid meals or incorporating fasting, you finally give your digestive tract a break. It redirects all that energy toward actual cellular healing.
And this brilliantly illustrates the whole concept of your microbiome as an internal ecosystem. Many of us walking around today have a gut that looks like a barren Sahara, depleted, lacking diversity, and highly vulnerable to disease. What we desperately need instead is a thriving Amazon rainforest inside our bellies, right? A rich, diverse gut fueled by soluble fibers from foods like sweet potatoes or garlic. Our good bacteria then magically ferment these fibers into healing short-chain fatty acids, which are powerful compounds that fight inflammation. But to build that lush rainforest, you need serious diversity. So what's the magic number? 120 to 140. That is the sheer variety of different plant foods that indigenous tribes, the folks with the healthiest guts on the planet, eat every single week. Meanwhile, the standard Western diet usually gets stuck at a measly 30 or 40. Ramping up our plant diversity is absolutely essential. But here's the kicker. How you eat matters just as much as what you eat. You could prep the most perfect, vibrant, fiber-rich salad imaginable, but if you're essentially unhinging your jaw to inhale it while stressed out in rush hour traffic, it completely changes how your body absorbs nutrients. The stress halts your stomach acid production, meaning you don't break down the food properly and you miss out on all those wonderful nutrients. Simply put, you just have to eat in a state of relaxation.
Which leads us perfectly into part 5, the BBOV method for recovery. These are the practical steps to heal from the inside out.
This brings us to a really fascinating framework from the original Dutch source material, known as BBOV. It shows us that true holistic health requires balancing 4 distinct pillars, not just obsessing over food. First, bewegen, or movement, specifically strength training and brief high-intensity efforts. Second, biowedma, your biorhythm, getting natural morning light and eating early dinners. Third, ontspanning, relaxation, actively processing trauma and calming your inner dialogue. And finally, voeding, nutrition, maximizing plant diversity and using fasting. You really need the combination of all 4 of these to thrive.
And within that framework, one specific tool stands out above the rest: intermittent fasting. It basically acts as an internal cleaning crew. The moment you pause digestion, you unleash a biological magic trick. You allow specific beneficial bacteria, like Akkermansia, to go to work healing your intestinal walls. While you're resting, they sweep up the debris and lower inflammation. It's profound internal maintenance.
So the crucial point is this profound mindset shift that ties all of it together. Don't fit your health into your busy life. Build your life around your health. We are so used to sprinting through our schedules, only giving our well-being a passing thought if we have 15 minutes left over. But that just doesn't work. We have to ruthlessly prioritize. Canceling a stressful meeting to protect your peace or your sleep isn't a loss. It's an investment in your energy that pays massive dividends. Health isn't a one-size-fits-all Band-Aid. As we've discovered in this explainer today, it is deeply rooted in the magnificent connection between your gut, your vagus nerve, your brain, and your unprocessed emotions. So I'll leave you with this. Are you going to keep managing surface-level symptoms, or are you finally ready to do the deep work and heal your emotional and physical roots? Thanks so much for joining me on this journey, and I'll catch you next time.